Hey, welcome guys, I'm back with another Life is Strange True Colors video. There's one thing that I forgot to discuss, one thing that I forgot to mention a couple of days ago. Life is Strange announced that they will be releasing a special issue of a comic book. It will be serving as a sort of a prequel to Life is Strange True Colors game, so that's definitely worth looking into. Now, if you're not familiar with the comic books, Life is Strange is releasing comic books. It's part of the official franchise. It's really worth having a look. They're pretty interesting. I discussed them previously on my channel, but basically I think their creators know the universe very well, and it's just nice to see that they're giving so much love to our beloved characters, Max and Chloe in that case. Actually, you can have a look. Yeah, so that's the way they look like, sort of. They're releasing them in arcs, so like 4 issues arc, and then there's a break, and then again it's 4 issues out, so I think the next one will be out in a couple of months. They're pretty nice, pretty interesting. They do know the universe quite well. So like Max feels like the game Max, Chloe feels like the in-game Chloe. When you're reading these comic books, you can actually hear the characters. So Emma Viesciowi is the one responsible for the storyline. There's Andrea Izzo and Claudia Lona, they're responsible for graphics and colors. And they will be releasing a comic book. That's the cover. Life is Strange Free Comic Book Day. True Colors. This will be available on the August 14th because this is a free comic book day, and you can find that in a local comic book store, or I can imagine online somewhere. But basically on the cover you can see Steph and Alex, which is really cool. They told us that this will include 2 stories, and I think one will be like a direct continuation to the comic book arc about Max and Chloe. If you don't know, that's actually a Bay timeline, so they're following the ending in which Chloe is alive and well. Max is messing with the time travel again, and then that's pretty much the plotline without giving away too many spoilers. Obviously, there's Steph in there. I think this will be one story, so this will serve as a prequel to the game because we will find out more about Steph. Now, clearly, Chloe knows Steph because in Before the Storm they were friends. I can imagine it's quite easily implemented. It is easily done. They can sort of include Steph in the story. They will somehow meet, and hopefully this will fill in the gap between Before the Storm and Life is Strange because we don't really know what was happening to Steph at the time. I'm sure we will find out more from the DLC, but I bet the DLC is meant to be played after the first game. Yeah, we'll find out more what happened to Steph, why she came over to heaven. I keep forgetting the damn town's name. To the town. There's another story. There will be 2 stories in that comic book, and I think this one will focus on Alex and possibly the times before she came to that town, to Gabe. That's pretty cool because, as you all know, Life is Strange 2 got actually its own prequel game. It served a marketing purpose. It was called The Adventures of Captain Spirit, and it focused on, as we now know, a side character in Life is Strange 2. So we got to know Chris, and then later on when we met Chris in Life is Strange 2, we knew who he was, we knew his backstory. It was a pretty smart way to sort of introduce a side character to a game. Now, I think this is serving the same purpose, so they will include Steph in a comic book. Of course, we know her, but they will sort of show us what's up with her, what happened to both Alex and Steph right before the game will be out, because the game is out in September and that comic book will be out in August. Now, I noticed some people got mad Sean and Daniel are not introduced to the comic books and that they're sort of forgotten and stuff, but I don't think it's a valid complaint because while I understand it, and I understand it must be frustrating to not sort of get them in a comic book, I think this is not serving that purpose. Like, it's not like they're implementing Steph and Alex into the comic book on their own without any other purpose. This is meant to be part of the marketing campaign for Life is Strange True Colors. This is what happened before Life is Strange 2. They introduced Chris and the Adventures of Captain Spirit. So I think this is pretty much the same thing. Maybe even one could say Adventures of Captain Spirit was a bigger deal than a comic book, but it's free and it's really nice. I think it would be also hard to implement Sean and Daniel since there's so many endings. It will be really hard to canonize one of these endings. It was easier with Max and Chloe because you got 2 endings, and if you wanted to continue their story, well, you could only go with one of these endings. So this is what I wanted to discuss today. There will be a free comic book, Life is Strange comic book, which will present 2 stories, and one will include Steph, so possibly Chloe and Max will meet Steph, and then the other one will focus on Alex, our new protagonist, already beloved by so many people. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Do remember to subscribe. It helps a lot. I'm covering many story-driven games like Mass Effect, Witcher 3, Life is Strange Before the Storm, of course, True Colors. Actually, Mass Effect did a very similar thing. They released, I think, a comic book or like a book in between Mass Effect and Mass Effect 2. So we found out more about what happened to Liara in between. Also worth checking out, although I never really read it. I don't know where to find it. I'd love to read it. Again, thanks for watching. Stay safe, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.